Every single Bedlam beatdown is absolutely flippin' frackin' beautiful.
You are Locked On Oklahoma State, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma State Cowboys, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Howdy, y'all, and hello, all. Welcome back to Locked On Oklahoma State, your daily stop for all things Cowboy and Cowgirl related. My name is Cody Stovall. I want to thank you kindly for stopping by to make this your first listen here on Locked On Oklahoma State. We're available on all of your podcasting platforms, visually on YouTube, and you can find me personally at All Day O State on Twitter. Last night was magical. That's 2 games this year that we have absolutely beat the ever-loving brakes off of OU, which is always great in any sport, anytime, anywhere. It's going to be kind of sad to see some of this go. I know in other sports we're contemplating or at least trying to work something out, so we very well could still continue to play OU quite often in baseball. Sign me up for it. It is awesome. To watch what happened last night is absolutely awesome, but it really begs the question, are the Cowboys getting hot at the right time? You heard the announcer say it several times last night. I have been reluctant to say that we're getting hot at the right time because it's in the end of the year, level of competition hadn't exactly been the same. We have been swept, which is never a good prospect for anybody to go through. West Virginia may deserve to win the Big 12 regular season title, but dagnabbit, it'd be nice if they didn't. But here's the juxtaposed situation. It's physically impossible to root for Texas. It will make you physically ill, and it'll also make you feel less about yourself as a man if you find yourself accidentally cheering for Texas. So can't do it, won't do it, don't want to do it. I'm maybe a closet West Virginia fan this year. Maybe that's it. Or maybe it's because for today's other show, we have Justin Coos Walker from West Virginia, Coos' Corner on. Maybe that's it. But I like the way West Virginia handles their business. And although, of course, I want to win the regular season Big 12 title, I wrote off that like a week ago as not being a major thing for me to focus on. Because if we win the Big 12 tournament title, I'm a happy camper. So are we getting hot at the right time? Well, more so than hot, maybe the right verbiage would be healthy. I know people want to act like that all of the injuries in football were like, the big glaring issue. It is what it is. Baseball's a little bit different, but luckily we've recruited well enough that even when we're missing multiple starters, you're not seeing a massive drop-off. Is there a difference? Well, yes, absolutely. And the beauty of baseball is statistically, it'll usually tell you kind of where you're rocking and rolling in life. Like we just found out today via Max Preps, my oldest son is ranked number 13 in the state in slugging percentage. He's also top 25 in a few other baseball classifications as well. That's the beauty of baseball is statistics tell all most of the time. And with the pitch clock, the game is sped up pretty significantly. So it's much more easy on the eyes to watch. It's hard to watch that nasty crimson and cream crap. I mean, it gives me a little bit of a headache, but when there's some orange mixed in, I can rock with it. I can roll with it. And last night was just a reminder for OU, right? For anything not named football and softball, and I guess you could throw in gymnastics. OU got to sit back last night and remind themselves, oh yeah, always suck again. And I love it. I absolutely love it. So again, it's the health side of things that lend me to believe maybe we are getting hot at the right time. Nolan McLean made his first appearance back on the mound yesterday. He's been out for a month and a half, had a pretty significant injury. He actually had multiple injuries in one collision with the wall. He looked good, right? A little rusty. Yeah, okay, cool. But he only gave up 1 run. And when we did get the bases juiced, he kept the ball low in the zone, and it allowed us to get some ground ball inducing double play action. He did his job, and he did it very well. And you can tell he's got some mustard on that daggone thing. He can spin it now. So obviously, I think for the remainder of the season, he's going to focus on the pitching side of things, which is fine. They talked about it on the broadcast last night. Oklahoma State is a dangerous team because 1 through 9, every single dude can hit for power. When you have a 9-hole that has 8, 9 home runs, that could potentially be a problem. And we're not as home run or bust like we were last year, even I'd say the last couple of years. We have 1 through 9 that can smash, but we've got guys who can keep it simple, who can hit gaps, who can play a little small ball, double you up, triple you up. Very smart base running. Our base running has been very, very good recently. Like yesterday, Roc Riggio, there was a time where he got a hit, went to the outfield. He should have technically stayed on first base, but he plays second, so he understands the alignment of the cutoffs. As soon as he saw the alignment of the second baseman in conjunction with the shortstop, he was already breaking for second because he knew just by alignment alone that they were trying to throw the guy out of third. So Roc knew while ball was almost mid-flight that he was safe to go. But if he waited a millisecond longer, they'd have had him. It's little stuff like that make us appreciate the greatness of Roc Riggio. So I do hope that we all appreciate the greatness of Roc Riggio. My son is enamored with Roc Riggio, which is great for him. For me, growing up, that was Jimbo McAuliffe. Roc Riggio is that guy for my son. And that's amazing because he is that good. We're lucky to have him on campus. Nolan McLean, same thing goes there. He's dealt with a lot of injuries. He's been a home run or bust type of guy, which has maybe put a little bit of a negative connotation on him as a prospect. But Major League Scouts are on him very, very highly for a reason. Him missing this good chunk of time, it probably does affect his draft class to some degree. But baseball draft is usually about potential. Obviously, productivity is part of the equation, but a lot of it's based off of potential. If you saw what Jackson Holliday's out there doing, he'll be a mainstay for the Orioles. He'll be part of the Orioles becoming really good again. And they're a kind of a small market club. They don't have bukus of dollar bills. But if you go back and look at the Cal Ripken days, yeah, I'm showing my age. It is what it is. But the Orioles used to be fun to watch, right? The Iron Man himself used to be amazing to just see in action. You know what else is amazing that you have to see in action is bird dogs. Ladies and gentlemen, here's a box. Here's the logo. For those who can't see, I've got the bird dogs box that I got in the mail. Best product I have ever received. Like, hands down. Ridiculous. And I've covered a little bit, right? Like, my situation is a little bit unique. I went from running 3 miles a day to trying to navigate stairs in a prosthetic. It happens. It's part of life. Ain't no big deal. But comfort to me is at an utmost high. I have to be comfortable. And you want to get what you pay for. And you're getting exactly that in bird dogs. I have spent, countless dollars at Dick's and Shields buying golf shorts, right? Because they're breathable, they're elastic, they feel good, they're comfortable. You don't have to wear a belt all the time. Bird dogs blows everything I've ever bought way, 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 way out of the daggone water. And it's not even that close. And the built-in boxers, home run. Absolute home run. And right now, if you go to birddogs.com, use promo code LOCKEDON, whatever bee's knees level of order works best for you. You're also going to get the Bad Mama Gemma Yeti tumbler with the Bird Dogs logos on it. I left it downstairs again. But if you haven't heard of Bird Dogs, you know now. If you haven't worn anything from Bird Dogs, you need to do it because you also get your hands on this crazy tumbler. All right, y'all, go to birddogs.com. Use promo code LOCKEDON. Get yourself hooked up today so you can snag yourself this free tumbler that comes along the line with it. Baseball is back, I think, because it's not just about people like Nolan McLean coming back for the first time in over a month. Aiden Meola made his first appearance since the first week and a half of the season. He's a big guy that's going to be an integral part of us moving forward. He's a guy that should replace some of the production we lose out of Roc Riggio. Zach Ehrhard. He's been playing a lot recently, but he's coming off a major injury where he missed 80% of the season. Nolan Shubert is probably the freshman of the year in Big 12. At least he's in the running for it, as he should be. We can drop bombs up and down the lineup, but again, we're healthy. You're seeing some of these guys that we knew were going to be, majorly part of any run we were going to make this year. And they're getting healthy. And we are getting kind of hot. And OU's not a terrible ball club. But we need to sweep. Whatever happens with West Virginia, happens. Period. It is what it is. If they do what they're supposed to do and they win the Big 12 regular season title, tip your cap. Because I'm pretty sure it's their first one ever. They've earned it. They've been building towards this. This is what you want out of any sports program, is to build for a certain level that you can win it. And West Virginia can certainly do that. But they're up against a very, very difficult Texas ball club. We got Texas early. It was a good series. We should have swept them. Came up a little short in game one. No big deal. I don't care what happens, because if we continue to play like this, and our pitching rotation, Rob Walton has mismanaged pitching rotation for 3 years. Let's just call a spade, y'all. It has been terrible. But if you got a fully healthy Nolan back, you've seen the emergence of Garrett Benge as a two-way player. That's why he's on the John Olerud list along with Nolan McLean. So you've got multiple two-way players that are producing on the bump at the moment. You saw what Evan O'Toole can do. This is twice now that he's came in and completely shut down a lineup, and it be the same lineup. I'm massively sold on Isaac Stebens. I think Drew Blake has obviously a lot of potential there as a middle reliever role. We haven't seen a lot of Ben Abrams lately, but we know what he can do. I don't know, man. Staff's looking pretty good. I'd like to see a little bit more Ryan Bogus, of course. But if we can manage the staff right, the bats are back. And now we have the beauty of flip-flopping. If for whatever reason Tyler Wulfert goes 0 for 3, which doesn't happen very often, he dropped another bomb last night. He's been hitting really well. Where's the right number? So that's a benefit. But if for whatever reason he's not hitting that great that night, okay, cool. 7th inning stretch, throw in Aiden Meola. Fine. If you wanted a little bit more small ball, throw in Jackson Kroll. Fine. We're in a good spot. If we sweep this Bedlam, I will feel supremely confident going into the Big 12 tournament. Again, regular season title, it is what it is. West Virginia wins it, hats off. If we win it, cool for us. Don't care. I want to win the Big 12 postseason title. I want that tournament championship, because that is getting hot at the right time. That is indicative of not the body of work entirely of the season, but what you've put in work-wise most recently. Getting hot in baseball and basketball at the end of the year is everything, absolutely everything. And we found a way to battle throughout the course of the season with mismanaged pitching rotations all flipping year, yes. But we've managed to do that with basically backups to some degree. It's not like football. It's not the same. You only got 9 dudes out there. Right, your pitching rotation, you only got a certain number of guys that can not only hit spots, but also hit spots in big-time moments, and also hit spots with a lot of revelations behind it in big-time moments. See, OU pitchers, they throw some nasty stuff, but you got to win full counts, right? That's part of the name in baseball, is you have to win full count. And we've been doing that a lot recently. So, do I buy that we're getting hot at the right time? Almost. Pretty daggone close. That I will say. Pretty daggone close. And if you watched yesterday, goodness me, Marcus Brown made shortstop look like darn near child's play. He looked really good. And it's good for Marcus, because Marcus was gangbusters in the summer. The Cape Cod leagues, he was dominating, won a bunch of awards, MVPs, all that fun jazz. And this year, defensively, he's been good, but offensively, he's been a little bit down. You see him pick it up a little bit recently, but if he's going to keep playing like that defensively, it doesn't matter whether he can hit the broadside of a barn or not, because now we have people that we can sub in. Heck, Ian Daugherty made an appearance last night. I didn't know he was going to play at all this year. He was another one, kind of like Marcus Brown, that was killing it over the summer. Absolutely murdering the baseball, playing really good catcher. He was the hands down all day, every day starter. Chase Atkins was going to fill in here and there. It is what it is. So to see what Chase Atkinson has done, to go from a 9-hole hitter, barely hitting 200, to now hitting over 340, 350, and a lot of it recently. Like, he just caught fire recently. So we have the catcher now with the hot bat, but his backup, quote unquote, is back and healthy. We are set up. Pitching still kind of is a concern to me. We're this deep into the season. We still haven't figured out our rotation. We still have Juron Watts Brown not always starting on a Friday, picking and choosing, predicated upon weather to some degree on the days he's going to throw. That's not a Friday night guy in the major leagues. I'm just going to throw that out there. But Juron Watts Brown is that good. He will be in the major leagues when his stuff is dirty and nasty. But he's supposed to be the Friday guy, but he's not. Is Nolan McLean going to be the Friday guy from here on out? I don't know. Has Ben Abrams been relegated to more of a closer role? I don't know. We still have questions in the pitching rotation. The beauty of it is the questions everywhere else are pretty minuscule. Another thing that has me honestly intrigued right now is the regional that we're currently hosting for softball. And softball, unlike baseball, right, it's been kind of the opposite recently. We've been trending way down. This is the worst brand of softball I have seen since Coach Kenny G has been here, period. Now, could you put a lot of that on people trying to ride Kelly Maxwell and her not being at her best? Maybe. But I would like to believe that we have enough leaders on the team like Cheyenne Factor, like Kiley Naomi, like even Kaylin Carwile, that can bridge that gap without having to worry about the same issues. So today, we take on the University of Maryland. I ain't gonna lie to you. I can't remember what the BC stood for, so I'd be throwing out inaccuracies if I said. But it's an interesting game, only because of our massive struggles recently. If we're not struggling, this is not a conversation, but we are. And we've had some decent days of rest here. So it will be interesting to see what Kelly Maxwell rolls out for this. Can we win the regional? 100%. Should we? Yes. Can we win the super? Should we? Yes. Both of those are yes. Should we make the women's version of Omaha, which is Oklahoma City, ironically enough, the Women's Culture World Series? Yes, we should. But we also shouldn't have completely face planted like we have recently. So as we set up to take on UMBC, what is the most important aspect of the game today? I would say getting the bats around. Pitching has been more than serviceable. Has it been great? No. Has it been bad? Absolutely not. But our timely hitting is terrible. Our RISP, runners in scoring position, is absolutely nowhere near what it needs to be if you're going to make a legitimate run at Oklahoma City again. If you're going to make a legitimate run at least playing for a national title. All of these things were the expectation 2 weeks ago. This has been the biggest face dive in Coach Kenny Gajewski's career by far. So this is a statement. This game today should be a statement from Coach Kenny G and the Cowgirls, letting the college softball landscape know, hey, we're back. Or it's going to send a message to the college softball landscape that, hey, Oklahoma State is still, for whatever reason, driving the big old orange struggle bus. So let me hear from you in the comments. Do we get it done in softball? Do we win the regional? Do we win the super regional, as is expectation? Or no? Same with baseball. Are we getting hot at the right time? Or do we still have a little bit more to prove? Let me know down in the comments. All right, y'all, tune in. We've got a show lined up with Justin Coos from Coos' Corner on this channel. We're also working something out to appear with Greg Swaim later on tonight. I don't know if it's going to be on my channel or his channel or a third channel. Not sure. Follow me on Twitter at Aldeo State to stay updated with all of that action. But anyways, hope you got your three-piece suit on for this three-piece today. Here's one. Got another one. And then stay tuned for the Greg Swaim show updates. All right, y'all. That's all we got for this one. Oh, you suck again. I love you all. God bless. Go Pokes. Beat the brakes off of the Boomers once again. Thank you for tuning in to make this your first listen here on Locked On Oklahoma State. All right, y'all. Later.